Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Matt. This is BankShot. We're going to be spending more time with Steve at Veerman, the runner of Intangible Market today. He's going to be showing us more of the site. He's going to be really breaking down the sets price guide for us today, which is one of the features of the site that I hadn't had a chance to see before. So he kind of walks me through it while sharing a lot of his just insights and analysis and kind of history of Top Shot and all the experience that he has some being an early adopter. So really cool video. If you like the first one, you're definitely going to like this one. Um, just want to say before we get into Steve and looking at the site, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who's had a chance to watch the videos, leave a like, leave a comment. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. As I mentioned last time, or if you haven't seen anything on my Twitter feed, I am running some Top Shot moment giveaways based on if we hit a certain number of subscribers to the channel. We blew past the first subscriber goal that I put out there of 25 subscribers to the channel a couple days ago. Gave away a Fred VanVleet moment the day after he went off a few nights ago and scored the Toronto Raptors all-time franchise record. So it's really cool to be able to do that. We've got a couple more challenges coming up. So again, if you like the video that you see today, please subscribe. If we hit 50 subscribers to the channel, I'll be running another giveaway on my Twitter. That's at BankShotNFT. You'll see the link for my Twitter feed, Steve's Twitter, the Intangible Market site, all the giveaway information, everything that you're going to be needing. It's all going to be down the notes down below. So please take a look at that. And without further ado, let's get back to chat with Steve and check out the site. Hey, everybody. We're back. I'm Matt, back with Steve. This time, part two of our little chat here on BankShot channel. We're going to actually spend some time with the Intangible Market site, talk about some of the different features, talk about how things work. And one of the things I'm really interested to ask Steve about here is kind of what are some of the strategies or things that he kind of takes from the site and would use in the marketplace or suggests for people to use. So I think kind of just to start right off, as I've got the site pulled up here, I feel like, the number one feature, and you tell me if I'm wrong here, but it seems like the one that would be used the most, and it's right at the top, is this account valuation piece. Is that correct as far as kind of the way where people should go first if they're just
Yeah,
discovering your
well,
site?
kind of. So that wasn't the way I originally built this thing to work. Like, I
Okay.
actually built the sets price guide first, and I've actually had to disable a bunch of it because I have too much traffic, and the way I wrote my SQL queries wasn't really optimized for the amount of people that I was getting, and I didn't really have good caching implemented. But I'm fixing all of that right now. It just takes time. So I have kept the account valuation online because it seems to be the most popular thing right now, but that wasn't the way I intended it. So that's I think if you were just starting out though and you wanted to kind of get a better overview of what Top Shot was and what things were worth what, then the price guide would be, I think, your first thing you'd visit.
Nice.
But yeah, let's visit this price guide. It's going to take a couple seconds to load.
Okay, great.
Um,
Let's do it.
and this is the older version. So I'm working on a much better version right now that has uh, basically groupings for the last 30 days, the last 7 days, the last 3 days, the last day for the transactions and the sales. Um, so you'll kind of be able to see how things are moving. Um,
Oh yeah,
so
I have not seen this before, so this is
yeah, so
exciting.
this is what the first thing I wrote. This used to be the homepage of Intangible, and then what ended up happening was, again, I wasn't caching anything, so this would be kind of a heavy hit to my database every time someone would visit. And it worked well if I had like 100 people using the site, and that was fine up until like January. Um, so anyways, I have to cache a lot of this now. So you can see at the very top, this was kind of like our North Star metrics for a lot of the users on the Discord up until January. And it was basically, okay, how many unique buyers do we have buying something? And what I did there was basically if an account bought at least one thing on the market, they're included. if an account sold at least one thing, they're included. So those are unique users at the top.
Right. So it's like a distinct count
Yeah,
of
it's
users.
a very distinct count.
Nice.
And what I found in my experience is because of the know your client or know your customer um, verification, it's very rare for multi accounts to buy from the market. Like even myself, um, it's very rare to have, because if you had a second account, for instance, to do like a challenge, because some people do that, right? They'll have a second account because there's a limitation right now with the current system where you can only earn one challenge per account, and some people want to earn more than that, right? And the only way to do that is to have a second account. So um, even though that's not recommended, and I wouldn't recommend anyone doing that. So, but what I found though is that in those cases, those second accounts very rarely buy something from the market. So I think that number there that's the real number, right? The 21,000 or 22,000 almost.
Yeah.
That's how many people have used the market, and that's a super impressive number because up until January, we were trending somewhere around, I want to say 2,000. So we've grown about 18,000, or I don't know, maybe 19 to 20,000 in the last month, which is
Wow.
absolutely insane.
Is the time frame that this is looking at like lifetime to date, or is it a
Yeah,
rolling
this
number of
is
weeks back?
absolutely cumulative.
Okay.
And so if you look at the sets pages, right? So we'll give you a quick walkthrough here of what this kind of does.
Sure.
It basically, so it's in the very top. We'll see, series 2. Let's go to the second one, though, where it says base set 1. So
Yeah.
there's 287 moments in that set. There have been 193,000 transactions, totaling over $11 million. So that's a lot of the transactions. I think that might be the most in
Yeah.
terms of like where people spent their money. The current market low to buy the entire 287 moments is $51,000. Right.
So
So
that's the
it's
sum of all the
sum
low.
of all, if you went by the current lowest value in the market.
Okay.
And that's a really interesting number because when we completed series 1 uh, again early January, that was about $9,000. And I thought it was a really safe bet. Like if you didn't know what you were doing, just like buy a whole base set or whatever, right? Because at least you cover everyone, right? If you don't know which player to buy, just buy all the players. And yeah, honestly, I still think that's a great bet. And so that'll be a really interesting one to track over time to see how that one does. And
Yeah.
up until recently, that had the most number of buyers. But you can see the Series 2 base set, they're over, man, there's close to close to 19,000 unique buyers. That is absolutely insane to me. So that to me, that says already there are more collectors in Series 2 than there are in Series 1, right? Um, so
Yeah.
that's a really healthy sign to see. Because if you saw the opposite, then and if enough time went by, then you would say, well, why aren't people collecting Series 2, right? Um,
I would have to think too that just looking at the current market low sum there, obviously there's the new user count that's going to play a big factor. But I know, even speaking personally from just like the budget that I have to work with and where I'm trying to make very selective buys, I'm pretty much priced out of chasing a lot of,
yep.
Series 1 base set. So that's probably a big part of it too. Is just especially in the last 2 or 3 weeks, um, it, maybe people would want to pick up some Series 1, knowing that they're already capped, or what's the term, that it's an LE moment, but those prices have gotten pretty high, even on
Absolutely.
players that, higher serial numbers of players that are just, an okay player. You'd be happy if you got them in the pack, but if you wanted to chase it down from Series 1, maybe it's $50 to $80 or something instead of
Yeah.
$1 or $2. I
Yeah,
know I
exactly.
was
It's
able to
not
pick
cheap.
up
Go ahead.
Mitchell Series 1 decent serial number the very first day I joined Top
Okay.
Shot for $3 or $4, right? And that would be 40 to 50 now or something like
Yeah,
that. So,
absolutely crazy how things have gone. And I think a lot of that is it's a supply problem, right? Where even the new packs can't come out quick enough. So I think a lot of people have gone to the market to kind of fill the void and own something, right? If you can't own it through a pack, you own it through the market.
yep.
So if you kind of click on one of those columns, click on
Buyers and sellers, are they
yeah, sorry.
part of these unique buyers and
Yeah.
sellers? Are they part of the total number
Uh,
here?
yeah, they're in that total. But those are unique to the set themselves. So
Right.
there's going to be overlap between those. They're not distinct between the sets themselves.
Oh, okay.
So it's possible every one of those 12,000 people who own the base set, they could be in that 18,000 above in that number.
Sure.
But if you click on the current market low column, the title,
Sure.
yeah, click it again. So this is basically, you can see right now, this is the most expensive, right? So if you wanted to own a complete hollow set from Series 1, it would cost you $1.3 million, which is absolutely crazy. I think that is actually out of date because I know that with a recent sale, that might tick up a little bit with the recent LeBron hollow sale. And then you can see right after that, there's like the Cosmic set. And then, from the top, etc. So, it's really interesting to see how expensive these sets have kind of ballooned to.
Sure. So you bring me to a really good point here that I've been wanting to ask someone as yourself who's got a lot of experience and has kind of lived through these different uh, rare and legendary packs. Just looking at these two rows here, the hollow and the cosmic, and looking at the set size, and then looking at the the cumulative market low or the sum of the market low, like it tells me if I'm someone who's looking to invest, wouldn't I be looking more into cosmic than hollow?
High level, I think that's what a lot of people would assume, right?
Okay.
That the price per like the moment would be higher in that case for the Cosmic. But um, I think there's a lot here that just so there is a hollow versus Cosmic kind of debate, and it started ever since I joined. But so when I joined in August, the Cosmic packs were already sold. They were actually one of the first packs that were sold. So a lot of people, and when they sold them, it was to such a small community. It was probably less than 100 people who had access. So it wasn't really accessible at that point. So you're basically selling to people, and they were yeah. So they weren't. I don't want to say anything wrong, but basically I had never had a chance at them, and so the hollow I had a shot at, and a large part of that is because the hollow had challenges, right? And challenges are core to what the top shot platform is, right? You can take a moment and you can find utility in it, because now that moment can act as a conduit to earning another moment. And I think that's a super important part of this. It's something that you can't do with a basketball cardboard basketball card, right? You can't earn interest on a piece of cardboard because you have another piece of cardboard. It doesn't really work like that. I mean, the closest example might be like a redemption card where you send one card and you get one card back, but there's no, oh yeah, you send 10 cards in and we'll send you the 10 cards back plus another card. That doesn't really exist, right? So
Yeah.
the whole challenge is part of Top Shot's pretty awesome. So with Hollow, when I joined, I think I still stayed away from Hollow because they were expensive. I think the average price was maybe $150 per a Hollow. But then there's some point, I think mid to late August, I said, well, the LeBron James is a reward for the Hollow set, and I know that there aren't going to be because there's an upper limit of 50 in the entire set. Like, sorry, 50. Each player has 50 minted, right? And I know there aren't going to be 50 LeBrons because I know there aren't going to be 50 complete challenges. So I knew that. So there's 49 LeBrons in the Cosmic set. So I knew, well, that means the LeBron for the Hollow is going to be rarer than the Cosmic set. And at the end of the day, I just wanted like the rarest Series 1 LeBron. So that was kind of my grail that I was going after, and so I fought hard and I traded hard to get all of the hollows I needed for LeBron, and I ended up getting it. And yeah, I think that LeBron, like, don't get me wrong, the LeBron Cosmic is great, but I think the Cosmic as an entire set is special. If you have an entire Cosmic set, which like nobody has, if you have the entire set, it is incredibly special. Um, but then I think individually, the moments in Hollow are in my opinion a bit better. You've got a better caliber of player. I think you've got 60 different players in the Hollow set, so you've got players that you won't see in Cosmic. There's this, you can get Steph Curry. I'm trying to think high level. Which ones can you get? You get Steph Curry, Trey Young. Um, I think AD, Harden.
If I click on this, will it bring up the
Yeah.
list of? Awesome.
Um, yeah, it does exactly, right. So
That's great.
um, you'll get players that you won't get in the Cosmic set, basically. So if
Right.
you wanted the best Harden or the best AD, you would buy Hollow because there's no Cosmic option, right?
Sure.
Um, and then likewise, like if the Trey, for instance, Trey has 25 minted for Hollow versus there is no Trey in Cosmic, right? So for me, like Hollow has a lot of interesting reasons to collect it, and so does Cosmic. But for me, it's special, right? And again, because it's the challenges are core to the platform, and I really like that part. And some people would disagree with the next point I'll bring up, but I'm a big fan of like the logo on the side too. A lot of people like the artwork for some of the sets.
Okay.
Uh, and myself, I'm a big fan of like the team logo. To me, the team logo is like the ultimate art. It's the licensed art that we can only get because Tapper has this partnership with the MB. Otherwise, they'd never be able to get it, right? So it's even
Right.
that makes it exclusive, right? But it's hard to beat like a Lakers logo on a LeBron moment. To me, that I don't care if it's base or MGLE. To me, it's awesome to see that. So again, a lot of people would disagree with me on that, but I think the thing with the logo too, the logos have their art, right? And the logos there's a history with logos, right? You can find out. There's probably a Wikipedia page on every one of these team logos to see how it was originally designed, who the creators were, right? So
Sure.
there's a long history here of the logo, and to me that outweighs the other artwork. But again, my own opinion, a lot of people would disagree with me on that, and that's fine.
No,
That's my long-winded answer,
no,
by
no,
the way,
no.
on the Cosmic
I
and
love
Hollow.
it. I'm just like enthralled by the page right now and being able to look at it in this format and kind of go through and be like, wow, okay. So there ended up being, to your point earlier, only 32 of the
Yeah,
LeBron.
exactly. So there are some that are I want to. There's actually I know the number. There's 19. There's 19 players that are in both Cosmic and Hollow sets, right?
Okay.
And so there's 30 total in Cosmic. So there's 11 Cosmics that aren't in Hollow at all. So if you're a big fan of let's see if you're a fan of Reggie Bullock or Biombo or Marquez Chris, then um, absolutely go to Cosmic, no doubt, right? But if you're a fan of like Steph Curry or Harden or whatever, like the Hollow has that. So
Yeah.
you know it depends, right? Yeah.
That's awesome. What else can what else can someone when this kind of um price guide
Yep.
goes live again, what else can someone kind of use the information here to try to kind of to do, or what would you recommend for someone who's new to the site and they're trying to kind of just look at all the pieces of information here? Where's the for the beginner user, for the new user
Right.
who maybe isn't looking at the high price point stuff anyways, but just wants to kind of browse through this? What should they look at?
Yeah, that's a really good question. And so I really hope they get this base set pack thing under control because I believe it's critical that it remains accessible to everyone. And I think that the consequence of that is I think the prices will likely fall for a lot of the base moments. And that's a good thing. I don't think you should be able to turn a $12 pack into 500 every time instantly. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Like something is broken with the mechanics of that. So, like in Series One, it was a grind to turn a $12 pack and get your money back on it. So it just doesn't make sense with Series 2. I don't know if everyone's just too greedy and they say, okay, not only do I want to get my money back, but I want to 30x it immediately. It's like, okay, well, wait a minute. It doesn't really add up. So I think a lot of these prices here will likely fall. And then I would tell a new user, okay, look at the price guide, maybe sort by, the current market low, find out teams you like. I might add this part. So on another page, I've been playing with the adding an index for the players' relative ranking based on all-star votes, right? So it's a really easy way to figure out a player's popularity in the league. So I'll likely add that to this page as well. So you can basically sort by the player's popularity, and then you can kind of find maybe a midpoint between like a price and popularity, right? But yeah, so if you just scroll there with like the lowest price moments, certain things will stand out to you. If I was a new collector, I'd probably go after the team that I was most into, right? So I would go to the team category and maybe just type in Boston under team, no, under the column.
Okay. Oh, that's how
No,
this acts.
yeah, the other column that one there, yeah. So just
Oh,
type
wow.
in yeah.
Perfect.
So it just filters on everything, right? So you could see,
Great.
okay, who's the cheapest Celtic, and it'd be like, okay, it's Tice, right? So
Sure.
you could kind of do it that way, right?
Taco Fall. So, right. So what's going on there?
Yeah. Um, so as a new collector, that's probably what I do. I'd be like, yeah, I want to own all the Celtics. How do I do that, right? And this would be a really easy way to do that, to figure out what's good value.
Even realize that these were kind of search functions or search filters. So
Yeah, they're filters. They filter on the existing results. So whatever the results are for this page, it filters on it, right?
nice. Yeah, I can type in like a specific market low price and it just brings up.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Type in, click on the X real quick,
Sure.
and then type in LE under circulation. I think that should work.
Oh, wow.
I think, hopefully.
Yeah. Looks like
Yeah,
it.
so yeah, exactly. So this shows all of the LE moments, right? So if you wanted to just go sort by market low, right? You did already. So the cheapest retired moment or LE moment is $40. So this would be a really interesting way to figure out, okay, if I wanted to own an LE moment, what's the cheapest one I could buy, right? There you go. And it's not easy to do this with the current search on the market. It's not that intuitive to figure that out.
I was just gonna say I've tried to do the same thing and yeah, not being I don't think you actually can search by
No,
just
it's
the
coming.
circulation, the
It's
LE.
one of those features they've said is coming for a while, and they're working on a lot of things. So I'm not going to give them a whole lot of grief, right?
Right.
But it's been in the queue, I think, for at least 3 months.
You know, it'd be really interesting to be able to, and I'm not sure if you have that in this page somewhere or maybe in another one of the tabs that you have either live or in progress, is a rookie filter. Just being able to quickly,
Oh, I
whether
do,
you're in,
I do.
okay,
Yeah,
that's something that I've
no,
wanted to be able to do.
you
And
you can right at it. So the draft year,
oh, there you go.
type in 2020. Right. So these are all the rookies. And now you can figure out which ones are CC, which ones are LE, like they're all there. These are all the
Yeah,
rookies, right?
let's look at the rookie LEs. That's great. That's super exciting. I can imagine people are going to love this guide and this tool.
Yeah. So this was the way it was up until like 2 weeks ago. And then I had to disable it. Sadly, I was not happy about that. But the alternative was like not having the site work at all. And,
No?
step at a time. But it'll be up in a few short days. I'm sure by the time this airs, people can probably visit this.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Actually,
Is there anywhere on
let's
the
show you some
page
more.
that
Go ahead.
I can that it tells me like if I'm already like I'm digging deep into this,
Yeah.
I'm clicking on filters, I'm searching, and I already forgot what set I'm in. Like I think I'm in
Oh
base
yeah,
set
no,
two. Does it
you're
say that anywhere?
series
Or
two base. No,
okay.
no, you're right. I don't have that. I got to show that somewhere.
Okay. I'm
That's a
not
good
trying to
point.
call out things that you're missing. I just legitimately forgot which one we were in.
It's okay. You're allowed.
All right.
It's so rudimentary at this point. It honestly, this whole thing is very basic, but the next version, I'm sure will be much cleaner, much sleeker. So
It's
yeah,
You may call it basic, but I think it's pretty freaking exciting to be able to
Yeah, I
kind
yeah,
of, you can fly through this, and once you get used to using the tool and just those searches and filters, even just what we kind of, at a high level look through there, there's a lot there.
absolutely. Let's
And just be able to scroll and see everything at once. And I mean, this loads a lot faster than the current marketplace on so, right?
it makes a lot less calls. Believe me, if you open up Developer Console, it makes like a call. Like it
Sure.
doesn't.
It doesn't go
The
into that whole yeah,
if you've loaded the current app marketplace and then open up Developer Console, you'll see like 200 calls, uh, API calls for fetching information, and it's not ideal, and I think it's something that needs to be looked at a little closer because it does slow the app down. It makes the app a little less responsive, etc. So
sure.
this isn't the same. Their app is much more complex, but yeah, I do take a little bit of pride in being able to deliver something quick.
It's awesome. Should
Um,
we go back to
yeah, let's
the
go back.
main
Let's go
page?
back. I'll show you some more features here. So
Okay. Okay, everybody, it's Matt. I think that was a really good kind of intro to the sets price guide. And again, Steve's been great with taking us through that and showing us a lot, and also giving us his kind of thoughts and analysis along the way. So we're going to stop it here for now. We're going to be following up in a couple days with another video where he's going to show us a few more features of the site, and I think you're going to really like it. So please keep an eye out. Click that bell notification to know when our next video goes up. Subscribe to the channel. That's going to do it for now. Have a good one. I'm out.